Welcome back to this Star Sports Greyhound Derby preview. Now, of course, a new venue this year in Nottingham. We're going to talk a little bit about what to expect there and what type of dog we're going to be looking for at Nottingham. And Kevin, in theory, we've played into Irish hands because people are saying Nottingham is very similar to Shelburne. It looks a straightforward track, but it does have its quirks, doesn't it?
It does. It's a tricky first bend and it's a tricky third bend for sure. I mean, the Irish dogs were at a big disadvantage, I think, the last couple of years in Toaster, but Nottingham it's ideal for them, you would imagine. So I think their challenge is going to be better than ever there. But I say it's definitely a track you need a few looks at. I think it's difficult to go in there with one trial or straight in a race, which a lot of people have been doing lately. But it's a lot harder to run than it looks. So I think the more experience you get of it, the better, definitely. The
feeling I've been getting from the Irish Ian is that they're delighted with Nottingham.
Yeah, I think they are. I think apart from everything else, the logistics of it, it's just handier to get to. It's more of an Irish feel about it, and the lack of the Tuesday quarterfinal, the Saturday nights through is it's a big advantage to all dogs. I think with the galloping nature of Nottingham, it would have been very tough on greyhounds to have those 3 runs in a week, and I think it's going to be fairer all round. I think it's going to be a track where when you get down to the business end of things, I don't think the first and third bend will come into the equation as much, because when it comes down to the best dogs, they generally run a track like this. They should run it fine, and I think it'll come down to a fair derby. I think on the night, whatever is the best dog will win it, and I think that's what we all want. I'm really looking forward to it. I got to tell you, I was over there for the Eclipse last year, and I'll be there for the final this year, and really looking forward to it. I think it's a proper track to have a derby on. I think it's a real test of a greyhound. And I think you're going to need, there's nowhere to hide, basically, is what I'm saying. You're going to need a proper greyhound.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a tough derby. It's a very stiff 500-metre trip. Would you rather have a good railer to take or a good wide?
Me personally, I'd have a railer every day of the week around there. I think early pace and rails is certainly what you want. It's going to be very difficult for a wide dog to try and clear all that pace. And it's quite a sharp turn. So for me, early pace railer.
Martin, we're hoping that the winner is going to come from this side of the Irish Sea, but is there any chance of a British bred winner?
Unlikely. I thought there's just more thing. I mean, obviously all the Rabs litter are just the ones really, the only British breds that we got at the moment. So, I mean, as you say, I just think it's the English-Irish battle, but I see a British bred winner. The British breed's been a lot stronger nowadays, isn't it? A lot of races being put up now for British bred dogs, and it's certainly a lot more than what it was before, So
in a couple of years' time, Kevin could be flying the flag.
I think that'd be right. We've seen Kevin's litters that have been brought over there. Yeah, we just found about the prefix earlier on, so there's every chance of being a British bred winner eventually. But I mean, I think you've got to struggle back to the days, go back to the White City days, maybe when it was a British bred winner. I would have thought. Struggle to think.
It's a long time.
It's a hell of a long time ago. Yeah. So
I'm not sure I'm old enough to remember.
Me neither, certainly, despite the lack of hair.
There will, of course, be a bitch to go fair this market as well. So a few names out there. We've got Antigua Vows, Antigua Sands, Gilo Blissful, Queen Beyonce, who you mentioned.
Be the ones really. Other than that, I say you mentioned your penalty. And I think beyond that, you're looking at real big price ones. So a bit more competitive this year. We all backed your penalty last year. It's a penalty kick we said earlier on to be top bitch last year. And Julie done the business. Got to the semi-final, and I backed her outright, but she was never going to quite. Just like you say, too many fast dogs get in front of you in the final. But look, Nottingham's going to be a far better venue, I think, than Toaster. A lot more dogs will be suited by Nottingham than what they were by Toaster. Toaster didn't favour an awful lot of wide runners, and the fact it was more bends and there's a lot. The straights are a lot longer with Nottingham. Again, as Ian said, it'll massively favour, I think, the Irish runners. It's a much more similar track to Shelburne Park. I mean, we came to Toaster last year, and then we did the previews at Toaster, and then looking at the track and saying it's not a track anything remotely like this in Ireland, and there wasn't. I mean, you mentioned maybe Dundalk was probably similar in the shape of a gallop, but other than that, there's nothing at all like it. Whereas,
as I said to you earlier on, Toaster, if you clock them down the back straight, it was just over 3 seconds.
Literally, there's nothing.
The back straight in Shelburne Park is 6 seconds, and I assume the back straight in Nottingham is roughly 6 seconds as well. So, it's a different test altogether. Toaster is a track where dogs never really got a chance to get to full stride, whereas Nottingham is. It really is where. I've said it again. There's nowhere to hide. You have to have it all. You have to have pace from start to finish. Simple as.
They're going to be flying into that third bend down the back straight, that's for sure. The track record at the moment stands at 29.16, clocked by Sawpit Sensation. Obviously, Wildcat's just gone in 29.22 in a trial, which wouldn't count. But do you think that track record will go during the Derby?
Yeah, I think there's every chance. I guess there's a market on it.
We were just saying that. We were 2 to 7 not to go and 5 to 2 to go. So I think we were chatting here between the four of us before this, and I think there might be a little bit big price there, the track record to go. As you say, lots of fast dogs going around there. And if just something gets loose, there's plenty of these strong 600-yard Irish dogs that can easily get loose on the bunny and clock a flashy time. It's far
you'd imagine on the right night with the right track, if the conditions allow it.
That's the only thing. The track does run off. I mean, you see sometimes the track runs like 70 fast there. Whether they'll have it run lightning fast this year, I'm not entirely sure. You know, I mean, a lot of the Irish tracks are running fast. I mean, like Shelbourne's running lightning fast at the moment, and they may just try and put a little bit of water on it and just try and get the juice out of there a little bit to have it running lightning quick. But there's certainly enough fast dogs to go around and they put it under pressure.
You'd assume the right dog, the right start. Yeah, I think it'll go. No disrespect to the Wildcat, if he's doing 29.22 2 or 3 weeks before the Derby started, I think they'll be doing 29.10.
Yep.
Great.
And hopefully he will be.
Yes,
I was going to say,
in the final.
Right, I'm going to get all of your thoughts on your idea of best bets, both a fancy dog and an outside as well. I'm going to kick things off. I'm going to go for De Rota's Wildcat as my best bet. I think he can become the 6th dual Derby winner ever and really make history for you guys. I've always loved the dog and I have to go with my heart on him. The outsider, I'm going to go with King Lennon. Rab fancies him very much indeed. Really likes the dog as we've discussed. And also keeping our Burgess Bucks for Pat Buckley. Had a little glint in his eye about that dog. But I'm sticking with my English. Ian, what are your best selections for the Derby? A leading fancy and an outsider as well.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to pick one. As I said to you earlier on, I actually have Magical Bale backed when he was trained in Ireland. He's trained in England. I'm not going to give up on him just yet, but I'm not going to nominate him as my best bet. I'm going to come down to a pair of Graham Holland trained runners, Clonbrine Prince, Slippy Keane, and I think I might just side with Slippy Keane. I think he's a dog that's due a big one. He's a very, very fast greyhound. And of the outsider as well, again, you have your choice. I have a feeling that Liam Dowling is going to have a big say in the Derby. And I'll side with Ballymac Sid over Ballymac Anton. But again, there are a number of Irish dogs with strong claims at our biggest prices. I think come the off of the Derby, I think the top 20 in the market, I would say it'll have a very green feel about it.
Okay, Martin, for you?
I'm a big fan of Clonbrine Prince as well, actually. I was very impressed with what I saw of him when he just ran around Nottingham the first time, and his trial was very good. It impressed a lot of people on the clock with his trial, and he said plenty more to come from his trial stake win. He's got that proper 600-yard form at Shelbourne. He starts and stays. He looks a real proper dog. I think he'd be my, I struggle. I want to wave the English flag as well when I come to farm at night and not seeing a trick of the waving about. He'd be flying from the commentary box, I dare say, but
No,
so
impartial. I'll be impartial.
So keen to take it over. No, he would be my main selection. For an outsider, I'm very keen on Vauxhall. Jim, you said the Keefies were quite sweet on it as a dark dog to be sort of, and he looks a nice dog. He's shown plenty of pace. So he's a lively outsider. They know the time of day to get one to the final. So he'd be my lively outsider, Roxanne Jim.
I assume, Kevin, you're going to make it 2 votes for the cat.
I am. Yeah. Got to stay loyal for the cat. As I said earlier, I think he's as good as ever. So hopefully become one of the first, one of the few dual Derby winners.
Yeah.
I think price is about right. He'll be my short price tip. And an outsider is a dog we've not even mentioned, actually, a dog called Forest Jason, who had some great form in Newbridge, winning an unraced stake with Paddy Keogh, and has come over, was brilliant on Sheffield debut. Didn't quite take the Shorefield, but he's a massive engine on him, and at a decent price, I think he'll go well.
Excellent. Well, we'll see who has bragging rights.
I can just safely say that if De Rota's Wildcat does win the Derby, I don't think there'll be anybody unhappy at Nottingham on final night.
It would be good for Greyhound.
I think we appreciate on both sides of the pond.
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of a greyhound, and if he were to win a second English Derby, I certainly wouldn't begrudge Kevin anyway, or anyone else. Best of luck with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck with Wildcat and all of your team. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.
Very much so.
Indeed, yeah.
Can't wait.
See the action in the betting ring as well and seeing the dogs. Obviously, we're inside there. If it rains, we'll be out in the good weather. So, looking forward to it. Lots of fun. So, it should be good fun again.
Absolutely. Well, we've only got just over 2 weeks to wait. If anything we've talked about today has maybe tickled your fancy, then do head to the website to have a look at all the prices, starsports.bet. I hope you enjoyed our Derby chat. Goodbye.